Gladys moved in with Mom and Howard, where she only really got worse and worse. For the last 3 months of her life, all she did was moan. Whether she was awake or asleep, didn't matter. I remember a friend of mine had told me that the whole thing was just unanswerable. I guess it was. You know, after she moved in uptown, I'd only really see her when I went to visit. I was out of it by now. But my mom, she never got out. With the help of Howard, Florence, and Marva, she heroically stood by Gladys for the next 3 years. I mean, she cleaned for her and fed her and just looked after her as she fell apart. Day in, day out, with nothing to stop it and no relief in sight. I remember when my mom called me and told me she thought Gladys was dying. I rode my bike uptown and went into the back room where Gladys lived then, but by that time, she was just this tiny 87-year-old body. Just lying there with nothing to save herself. She's just struggling for one more breath. She finally passed away at around 3 a.m. And immediately after that, it was so much easier to remember what Gladys was like before everything happened. But I don't want to forget what happened to her. I want to remember it, every last detail of it, because it really happened to her. And it feels like somebody ought to remember that. You know, it's not true that if you try hard enough, then you get to prevail in the end. Because there are so many people that try so hard and they never prevail. They just keep trying and they keep suffering and they love each other so much that it makes you think, God, it must be worth a lot to be alive.